starting with fingers crossed today because I've been hearing that there's some hiccups going
Uh-oh.
on our live streams lately, and I don't know if it's Restream, if it's LinkedIn. So I'm just going to play it safe here, and we're actually starting a minute early. If you're joining us live, I would love it if you could drop a comment below. That way we know that the live stream is picking up, and I have a plan in place here. I'm joined today by Andrea Walker-Leidy. Hey, Andrea, how are you doing today?
Hey, if it works, we're saying hello to everyone right now.
Right? If it works, we're saying hello to everyone right now. If it doesn't work, you might be watching this in playback,
Yeah.
probably on YouTube. I'm hearing some hiccups that are happening right now, and I'm not sure if the baton is being dropped from Restream to LinkedIn or if LinkedIn's not pulling the live stream through. But at any rate, Andrea and I are true professionals. We work in all kinds of circumstances where things don't go right, and then
Right.
we have to plan for the
Pivot.
unexpected, right? And sometimes we have to plan through the unexpected because there's not an alternative route. We just got to plan through it. So I'm seeing a few people joining us on Instagram. So I'm going to say hello, Instagram. Instagram comments don't get pulled into Restream. So that's a good thing. I know we're live
All
there.
right. I
I'm gonna
see
pop
it.
over to YouTube and say, "Hello, YouTube," in case there's anyone watching there. That way they know that,
Yeah.
I'm in the comments over there.
I
And
think
then
LinkedIn is working.
keeping my fingers but this happened yesterday too. Yesterday, I was on with Quinn Conyers, and we had a really great chat. She's talking about being an MC, and her whole live stream didn't go on LinkedIn, even though it looked
Oh,
like it was. So I'm hoping the issue has been resolved. I'm hoping people are watching it on LinkedIn today, but I have planned for it not working on LinkedIn, and we'll see what happens. So Merrill Cass is a really I don't know if you know Merrill Cass, Andrea. Does that name sound familiar to you?
no, no.
So he is really great because he invites people to live streams, and I don't know if he has a directory or what, but he's always inviting me to join other people's live
Oh,
streams.
very cool.
Yeah, and he's like he messaged me earlier. He's like, "Hey, there's another event today." And I said, I'm not going to it, but do you know of any
Nice to
issues?"
meet
And
you.
he said, "Yeah, I'm hearing from other people." So I said, "Here's the YouTube." So Meryl, if you're watching us right now on
Yep.
LinkedIn, if you
He,
can hear me,
he's
drop a
here.
comment.
I just saw it
Yeah.
pop up in my chat.
Did you? Now,
Yeah.
the chat's not loading for me for my restream, but I do see LinkedIn appears to have 7 people watching.
Yeah.
Now,
And
I've got it open, you might have it open, so let's say there's 5 instead of us.
yeah,
The
we'll give
number
it to
doesn't
Will.
we'll hope that that work is working, but there's a possibility that the number's not right or people might be getting error messages. So I have redirected people from my LinkedIn post to go to YouTube if there's any hiccups with the live stream on there. So hopefully that is happening. So, all right, Andrea, we're going to put that aside now. We're going to get going into our conversation. And I mentioned in the pre-show we'll just assume nobody is watching us live, and we'll be pleasantly surprised if we start to see
I
any
love it.
comments that are coming in. I will just go forward with this. So, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where in the world you're watching from. My name is Brenda Meller. This is my live stream series, which goes into my podcast later. It's called Enthusiastically Self-Employed, and delighted to be bringing back to the hot seat, so to speak, today, Andrea Walker-Leidy. Hey, Andrea, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. I am loving the fall in Michigan and excited to chat today.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited for the chat as well. And those of us who are watching, you can see up on screen, it says our topic today is aligning your brand with your personal image. And I was telling Andrea just a few minutes ago, I got a direct message from someone on LinkedIn who said, "Aren't you doing an event today at 11 talking about personal branding?" I'm like, "Yes." And here's the link. So I dropped the link
Awesome.
to that person, and I redirected them over to YouTube where I'm hoping they are finding the link. But before we jump into that conversation, Andrea, there may be people that are watching today that haven't heard of you or maybe watching you for the first time.
Yeah.
Why don't you take a minute or two and tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell us your name, your business, what do you do, and who do you help?
Yeah. I am Andrea Walker-Leidy, as Brenda said, and I have been in the PR and communications space for almost 20 years, which always just feels crazy because it feels like I just graduated college and then here we are, 20, 30 years later. But I manage PR campaigns, communication campaigns. We do social media strategy and social media management with Walker Publicity that I founded in the first time around in 2007, and then took a break for a couple years and relaunched in 2015. And it is really all things communications and branding. I absolutely love what I do. I'm Michigan born and raised, and love being here. But I help people around the country, and one or two global. But really just focusing on what is your story. I believe that everybody has a story to share. And so what I do and what we do with my team is help people identify that story and then cultivate it with Walker Publicity. And then just recently, and I know we'll talk about this more later, I kind of have evolved and am doing something more that I do for all clients, my PR clients, and I'm starting to do more personal branding because I realized that we can tell people to show up and we can tell people to get on LinkedIn. At the end of the day, the last question is, what do I wear? And so it's been a really fun journey to do this passion project and kind of branch out and do more personal branding with people and help people feel empowered in how they show up. So that's the short answer.
That's great. And what I love, you probably love this as well, Andrew, when you're self-employed, you can do whatever you want. If you
Yes.
decide you want to supplement your core services and do something as a passion project, as you called
Yeah.
it, you can do that.
Yeah.
And, I think what you have done, I do the same as well, is you're paying attention to your customer, you're paying
Mm-hmm.
attention to the market, and you're evaluating what expertise do I have that people are willing
Yes.
to pay for,
Yeah.
because as we both know, when you're self-employed, you don't get that paycheck every 2 weeks. You gotta work
Right.
to earn the money,
Yeah.
earn clients and earn their business and hopefully get recurring business that's coming
Yeah.
through there as well. So with that said, we're here today talking about aligning your personal brand with your personal image. So what advice do you have for us?
The first thing I always tell people is be okay with exactly who you are. Part of the journey that I work on with my clients is we do a lot of self discovery before branding, right? So I've taken all the tools, and Brenda, you do this really well with your folks for LinkedIn. We do all of the same exercises that I would do with a marketing client. So we do the deep dive into what you want the perceived message to be, what you want the perceived connotation to be, what you want people to feel, and the emotions you want to evoke, which is all what we do in branding and marketing for businesses. I do all of that with individuals. So I tell people all the time, take the time to think about, how do I want people to feel when I walk into a room? How do I want people to feel after they've left me? What is the thing about me that I absolutely love? And allow those things to come out. It is okay. We talk in marketing all the time about having a niche and having a brand identity. Brenda's the pie lady, right? We know that. Brenda is going to
Niche?
make
I don't
sure
know. I
it's
it's
but that is
funny
your
that you say
personal
that,
that's your personal
right?
brand, right? You
Yeah.
you know you're right next to your name is a piece of pie on LinkedIn. That's a conscious decision so that I know that we are right there, right? We are
Yeah.
right there getting a slice of pie when I'm talking to Brenda. And that is exactly what I help people do and I want people to do in their closet. Like, it's okay to have the thing that you love be a part of how you get dressed in the morning.
Mhm.
And so I tell people, just lean into it a little bit and go ahead and take the time to kind of do some self discovery long before it's like, oh no, I got to go to this event. What will I wear?
Mhm. Yeah, because we probably all have things in our closet that we love to wear, and then we probably also have things in our closet that we should wear. We know that is kind of part of the uniform standard for whatever
Yep.
industry or events or things that we're going to.
Yep.
Even yesterday, Andrew, I was thinking about this. I was going to Inform Troy, and I work from home. It's me and Pepper most days.
Yep.
And if I need to get camera ready, I will, but otherwise I'm in yoga pants and comfortable clothing. I've been
I'm the
doing this for 8
same.
years now, right?
Yep.
So I'm going in Forum, and I was getting clothes out the night before trying to figure out like what should I wear for this event. It's a professional networking event, but it's my girls, it's my friends that are hanging out. And I wore jeans, which is dressing up for me with, with a nice blouse on it. But I was
Right.
talking to actually Laura Rollins was at the event, and she was talking about what should I wear for the event as well. So we have things that we feel like we should wear,
Yeah.
and then we have things that we are comfortable wearing. So how do we reconcile those two things if they're not in alignment? What do you think?
I don't actually believe in should wear unless you, especially if you are enthusiastically self-employed, then there should be no should.
Mhm.
You are allowed to be exactly who you are. You are your brand. You are your business's biggest logo, right? And so, yes, of course, there are times where we need to dress appropriately for a specific event, right? If you're going to a gala, maybe don't wear jeans, or find a way to wear them. I help folks sometimes figure out ways to bring in pieces of things that they love into that. But you should walk into a room feeling your absolute best, your most comfortable, your most put together, whatever that looks like. And so I just take should right out of the equation. Does that mean maybe getting comfortable dressing up a pair of yoga pants? It might,
They
if
have yoga pants that look like dress pants, Andrea.
yes,
I haven't bought them
exactly.
yet, but I'm this close, all I have to
They
say.
are, I have a few and they're kind of wonderful. If you're a guy and you think, oh, I'm a jeans guy, well, wear jeans then. You don't have to change into dress pants or something. I think that's the biggest thing is we forget as self-employed, we get to chart our own course. I tell
Mhm.
people all the time when I worked in healthcare for a few years. That was the break that I took. I did health marketing and healthcare for a few years, and we couldn't wear jeans, and we needed to wear nylons, and I couldn't wear my nose ring.
Oh,
And I remember like that just wasn't me for a few
yeah.
years, right? And so when I relaunched my business, I said, I want a job where I can wear jeans. This is who I
Mhm.
am. And so, I mean, you will see me speaking at events and going to networking events and most everywhere in some sort of pair of jean because I've decided that that's a part of my brand. I
Yeah.
want people to feel comfortable with me. I want people to feel approachable with me. But I also want my clients and potential clients to know that I am not a stuffy PR agency, that
Mhm.
I am not that, we're never going to be a large corporate PR firm. I don't want that. That wasn't the goal when I founded the business. And so it before someone ever meets with me, they see that consistently I'm dressed a little bit casual. And I try to be dressed a little bit casual because I want people to know that I'm a casual business person. And so you see
Mhm.
how it's like those things. I think the same thing about you, you want to be approachable and I feel comfortable working with you. If I'm somebody who's really scared to figure out my LinkedIn, I know that you're really approachable and you're going to be doing a call with me while you're walking the dog, and
Yeah.
that feels like I'm chatting with a friend, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's that piece of it I think is so important.
Yeah. I love it. And by the way, I probably could do a LinkedIn coaching call while walking Pepper, but
Not the
usually that's
coaching call, no, just us
usually
chatting and catching up. Yeah.
sometimes do discovery calls, and I don't know about you, Andrea, but like sometimes I get the people that are like, "Hey, let's do a virtual coffee so we can get to know each other." And I don't know about you, but I figured out most of the time when they say they want to do a virtual coffee to get to know each other, it's either, one to pick my brain about LinkedIn, or two
Yep.
so that they can sell to me or figure out
Right.
how I can refer business to them. And
Yep.
I'm using a blanket statement. There are some lovely people out there that I've had virtual coffees with that are
I
doing
ask for
neither of
virtual
those.
coffee sometimes, but
Right? Right,
yeah.
right. But and I'll just use another example. I'm going to give a shout out right now to Nancy Maurer. I got an email from her
Oh,
earlier
love
today,
Nancy.
which was very suspicious, and I uh
Oh, same. I got the
and she
same
and it
email.
her account, her email was hacked because it
Yes.
didn't look anything like her at
I just
all. So
replied and said hack.
yeah, and I messaged her. I got her phone number, so I texted her and I said, "Hey, was your email hacked? I got a really suspicious message." And she said, "Yep," but in my brain I was thinking she said, "Yep, it's legit" for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh,
But then
right.
then I said, "Can you call me?" And she's like, "Just a minute." She called me 5 minutes later, and she's like, "Yeah, I was hacked. It's such a mess. I'm working through it." And she's working with Larry Miller right now and helping her to resolve it. But I thought she meant, yeah, but she, it's that conversational, like, "Hey, can you pick up the phone?" Like, she's the same
Yes.
as you and I. If we needed to, we could just text each other and be like,
Yes.
"Hey, let's just jump on a quick call." And it's not,
Yeah.
I don't feel like you're going to sell to me or
We
that
can
you're
get so much done sometimes with a quick
right.
call over back and forth.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And for those that are just joining us, we're talking today about aligning. I'm going to pull this back up on screen again. Aligning your personal brand with your personal image. So let's go back to that closet scenario again. So if I hypothetically have things in my closet that I don't ever really enjoy wearing professionally, and
Yep.
there's a couple things I keep, like a black dress or gown for funerals and
Yeah.
things like that. Not gown, suit, whatever,
Yeah.
but there's certain things you keep in the back of your closet. I'll admit, Andrea, since I left corporate, I got rid of probably the first year I got rid of most of my suits. I think I
Yeah.
still have like one suit in there. I don't think I've ever worn it since 2017. So give our audience permission to purge, or how do we tackle that closet
Oh
of things
my
that we're never going to
goodness.
wear?
The closet purge is my favorite thing in life these days. Yes, I do an exercise with folks, and I everyone can do this. Put all like make some space in your closet where everything's on one side. As you wear things, move it to the other side of the closet so that you're like right in real life doing the things that you're wearing. And then at the end of 6 months or a year, say at the end of 6 months, you'll probably know that here are the things I actually wear, because you can re-pull from that side of the closet, right? You're going to discover that there's probably half of your closet that you wear consistently, and half that maybe some of those things are like, yes, this is the dress I wear once a year and I'm going to keep it. But the other half of the closet is the stuff where that's not a part of your brand. And it's
Mhm.
okay. Like, there are other folks who that is a part of their brand. Think of it as paying it forward. Pack it
Yeah,
up,
that's a good
ask a
point.
friend if they need it, right?
Hmm.
Pack it up, donate it to Goodwill. But
Hmm.
it's exactly the same as what we do in business, right? We do an audit of the services we offer. And if we still love those services, if they're still benefiting us, if they're making us money, all those things, do the exact same thing in your closet. Is this benefiting me? Is it
Yeah.
making me money? Do I feel confident when I wear this? All the same things. And so your closet can talk to you if you just kind of let it filter out.
Yeah, I love it. And by the way, I want to give a shout out right now to Amanda Sweet. I'm going to send her this video later so she knows we were talking about
Oh
her.
my
But
gosh, I love her.
do you know what? I should. So she started this new business organization. It's called the Revamp Clothing Club.
Yes.
And so
It's my
basically
dream.
nowadays, I think you probably know this as well, but thrift
Mm-hmm.
is very cool. Like going to thrift shops is cool. Like when we were
Yep.
younger, it was like, oh my gosh, a resale shop or a Salvation Army. It's not,
Yep.
you would go there for Halloween costumes, but you wouldn't brag to your friends about it. Nowadays, like my daughter and her friends, they're like, let's go thrifting. And it's
Yeah.
like, it's cool to find these deals for
Yep.
gently used clothing and sometimes never worn. So
Yeah.
Amanda's created this program now, and her next event, I believe, is in January. So you bring bags of your clothing that you no longer wear and you donate it to the organization. I believe it's like a $25 ticket to get in.
Yep.
They sort and, I don't know, they've got a team of volunteers that do the work like right away on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can shop. And I'm using the word shop with my air quotes because you're not
Yeah.
buying things, but you can
Yeah.
go and take anything from the event. And
It's
she, in her
genius.
email, she says, like, bring large bags, a wagon, like take as much as you want, and anything that's left over at the end, we're going to donate. But I love it's this concept when you said what was it again? Things that don't fit you anymore might be somebody's dream clothing. Can you repeat that? Do you
Yeah,
remember what it was?
so things that aren't your brand might be what someone else is looking for to enhance their
Exactly.
brand or what they're looking for. And yeah, Amanda's vision is exactly I do that actually on a smaller scale with friends. If you've got some friends who are similar sizes to you, and I know, this conversation sounds a little bit like we're talking to the women in the room, but men fortunately and sometimes unfortunately for us, sometimes it seems like they have it easier, but they should be thinking about this stuff too, right?
Yeah.
So they should be thinking about what their brand is there, and they should be consciously making an effort. When I say consciously making an effort, I don't mean be the trendiest person in the room. I
Yeah.
mean be you. And yeah, exactly what Amanda does is what I think all of us could be doing, either with a small group of friends, or
Yeah.
please go to her event, take your stuff, because someone else's thing that's not their brand anymore might be yours. It's exactly why thrifting has become so much more important, is because people are realizing I don't need something brand new. I need something brand new to me.
New to me, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And not to mention, with all the prices that are increasing and, tariffs and all
Hmm.
these other crazy things that are
Yep,
happening in the world, it's squeezing our pocketbooks a bit more.
yep,
So we're finding like thrifting can be a very economical solution
yeah,
to finding things that are new for us. So,
yeah.
if anyone's watching this, share the link with Amanda. I just tagged her into the comments as well, but I know she
Oh,
would love
good.
the love. And she does have to Andrea, there's men's clothing, there's women's clothing, there's
Hmm.
children's clothing at this event. I haven't been to one before, but I asked her, I'm like, oh, is it just women? And she's like, no, there's men and children's that are a part of it as well. So we're talking about, there's this expression, your trash is someone else's treasure, but
Yep,
essentially your closet discards the things that are no longer a fit for you and your
yeah,
personal brand, maybe a fit for someone else in there as well. So talk to me a bit about, how this process came about. You said this was like the one of the last things that people ask you before you go on video or before they go on LinkedIn, that talk about if they're talking about their personal brand, like, what do I wear? So
yeah.
how did this come about, and how did you embrace and kind of identify this is a market opportunity out there?
This could be a business.
Yeah.
I had people start asking me if I could style them. That was what gave me my first aha. So I've been actually doing this for years, and haven't marketed it. I do personal styling for all of my PR clients, because the last question before someone's going to go to the news, doesn't matter how much media training I do. The biggest fear
What do
is,
I
what
wear?
do I wear? Um, and I also really just loved how universal it is, right?
Mhm.
We all get dressed in the morning. And I love that that is like this level playing field for people in any industry, in any business. We're all developing and we're all kind of on this level plane. We all get dressed in the morning.
Yeah.
And so it was a great way for me to say, okay, there's this thing that I do that I've never talked about. It's just always been behind the scenes. And I love all things fashion and branding and personal development and kind of cultivating who we are. That's just personally such a passion of mine. And so it just made sense that the two marry and have this beautiful baby called Look on Purpose. And now I'm able to help people. I do closet consults, so I'll actually go into their closet with them and cultivate exactly the conversation we had. We'll go into their closet and we'll say, what makes you feel great? What doesn't make you feel great? What might you need to add to that? So we don't
What if I
start
just
with
wanna scrap
shopping.
my whole closet, like, pull everything out and throw
Usually people don't need to. It's
you
shocking
know?
to me how often people think that they don't have anything. And then we'll get in there and we'll find things that they just didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, okay.
You bought everything for a reason,
Mhm.
even if it was an emotional purchase. And so I learn a lot about people in their closets, which also I love. I just love knowing people, right? And so I'm able to learn what they've done and how they've felt and where they've been, and kind of revive all of those things into a new life, into a new piece. So we do closet consults for that. I do personal shopping if people need that.
Yeah.
And then we just launched this membership, where people can actually just have me on call. I call it best friend in your pocket. I know when I'm shopping, I call my sister and I say, hey, does this look good? So it's exactly that type of thing where people can actually, it's so exciting for me as a business owner. You'll get this. People
Yeah.
are doing it. I know you have a membership and you've launched things like that. And it's like, oh my gosh, people get it
Mhm.
and they're doing it. This really was something that was needed. And being a business owner and realizing that you found a market that wasn't getting tapped and you had the thing that it needed is overwhelmingly exciting.
Yeah. That's true, that's true. It is kind of fun finding something, and you earlier in the conversation, you called it a passion project, like finding something.
Mm-hmm.
My marketing membership program, which I call Marketing with Meller, it is a passion project of mine as well. It's something I've always wanted to do. And I finally, like at the beginning of last year, I launched it because I've always been passionate about marketing, but people know
Yeah.
me for LinkedIn, not just Pie, but for LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But I come from the corporate marketing background and, I've always had a knack for marketing and
Yeah.
I've had a successful marketing career. So it's really a lot of fun to teach people who are small business owners and entrepreneurs and even, solopreneurs to help
Mm-hmm.
teach them with marketing. We're actually doing an office hours event today. So with that said, I want to change gears a bit.
Okay.
And I am if you see me looking over to the side, it's not because I'm not paying attention to you, Andrea. It's because I've got LinkedIn loaded. And on LinkedIn, I kid you not, we have like, I don't know how many different comments, 20 or 17 comments on here.
Woohoo!
None of them are loading into my
Oh
restream that I'm seeing.
no.
Are you seeing them on restream at all?
I can see a couple. I can see the comments and I can see a couple of the YouTube comments.
Now, can you click on show on stream? Because mine is just looks like it's cycling, like it's not pulling anything in. And when I click on show on stream, that's what it's
Can
showing.
I can
Is
see
your
it
yeah,
now. Can
yeah.
you see that?
Ooh, so I wonder if it might be a Wi-Fi connection on my laptop or something on my end. So
Oh,
keep it there, and we're gonna
okay.
look through
Glad I could
and
help.
yeah, that see, this is what when you're working with a
This
professional, we
is real
troubleshoot,
life.
we create plan B, plan C, all that other good stuff
Yep.
on here. So we're moving now into Q&A, or if you have any comments on our conversation so far. I don't think you can scroll up or scroll down though, right?
Once I'm in there, I cannot, but I can see if new ones
I can
come in,
see
I can see them.
Yeah, I can see from LinkedIn that are on there, but I want to just give some shout outs to some folks that I see that are watching us live or
Yes.
have commented. Simeon, Meryl Cass, like I mentioned earlier, Meryl, you're awesome. Thank you so much for joining
Thanks for
us. I see
joining us.
Lisa Fevek. Hey, Lisa, how are you doing? I see Philippe Cofino on here. Sherry Stein. Hey, Sherry, how are you doing? Kristen Stewart joining us from California. Steve Wyckoff's upset.
Awesome.
He joined us as
Love
well.
that.
Drew Nickel, I think he commented earlier before the live stream. And then over on Instagram, I see Sherry, Jennifer, Renee, Linda. I don't know if you know Renee Lindo. She does some work with style as well, with
Oh,
personal
awesome.
styling.
Okay,
Um,
no, but I would love to know you, Renee. Please, let's
yeah,
connect.
so I am you probably know this about me, Andrea, but I like surround myself with my coopetition. That's a word I heard from Terry
I'm the
Bean,
same
who
way.
said he
Yep.
read it in a book, but I'm going to use Terry Bean as my source.
Yeah.
I surround myself with other LinkedIn coaches. I surround myself with other marketing coaches
Yeah.
and consultants because we all help each other and we learn from each other. And
Yes.
sometimes I'm not a fit for someone, but one of my fellow LinkedIn coaches might be a better fit in terms of
Yes,
their area of
100%.
expertise. So, yeah, always great to see others that are joining. And then the third place I'm going to pop over is onto YouTube. On YouTube, I see Alexis said, waiting for the episode. Royce Blake is watching us. So I know the live stream is playing on there. Alexis might have joined us a little bit earlier in the show. So it looks like the live stream's going. And by the way, shout out to Scott Wyckoff, who just texted me too. And he said, hey, there are some glitches on the stream, but it is
Okay.
working on LinkedIn.
Awesome.
So
Thank you.
I always say, Andrea, a good friend will tell you when you have spinach on your teeth, right?
Yes.
They'll tell you about
Yes.
those things. What about so let's for you as a PR consultant, let's say you're showing up at a TV station with a client, maybe they're wearing an outfit and they've got some alternatives and they show up and something that they're wearing, is not going to work well on camera.
Mhm.
How do you handle that conversation?
So the thing to know about publicists and probably stylists too, and I'd let Renee probably knows this if she's doing a lot of styling. We know our clients, and usually we will troubleshoot before we get to that moment. So it's rare that I get to the moment and someone wears something. If they do,
Yeah.
I often I often have some things in the car.
Do you really?
So
Yeah.
I know my clients, and I usually have one or two things that are different sizes. Like I said, I love fashion, so I have things, both men and women, or if it's a stylist client, we will have shopped, and I maybe will keep something and kind of hang it in there. You know, I will let folks know, hey, this is what you will look like on camera, and I'm the spinach in your teeth friend, right?
Yeah. Okay.
That is what people are paying me to do. That's what my friends ask me. So I will say this is what it'll look like. Again, fashion and personal brand is not about what's the latest trend or what's the most popular thing. It is about how you want to show up, intentional showing up. And so if someone says to me, this is what I want to look like, and this is the conscious decision that I've made, then I'm going to celebrate that. And we will have already talked about that. I don't love surprises, so we will have already talked that through.
Mhm.
If I've really said no to something and someone feels strongly enough about it to come,
Yeah.
then I'm going to celebrate that, because that
Yeah.
means that that is their brand, and that
Yep.
is how they want to show up. And maybe I'm wrong.
hmm Yeah. That's a good point too. And come end of the day, it's what they are comfortable with, and you as the expert are there to guide them, but also to support them
Yeah.
in their ultimate choices as well. So great to see. So I see Meryl saying so far so good on the LinkedIn live stream. Fingers
Awesome.
crossed. Thank you for that, Meryl. Appreciate it. Sean Michael is saying a rising tide lifts all boats.
Yes.
Absolutely.
No competition.
Um, yeah, no competition out there. And Sean, looks like you're joining us from Guatemala. So thank you so much for that. So, what I'd like to start to do now, Andrea, is let me see, can I remove the chat? I can. Okay, so this is good. So, what I'd like to start to do now is, first of all, ask if you're open to connecting with people on LinkedIn. And if so, do you have any instructions for people when they invite you to connect?
Yeah, I love connecting with folks on LinkedIn. As Brenda has taught me, LinkedIn is such a beautiful world where we can all connect and just know each other. I met someone in person this week, and they were like, "Oh, I know you," and we'd never met, but we've known each other for 10 years on LinkedIn. And I follow them, and they follow me, and we engage with each other's content, and that is beautiful, right? I walked into a room where I thought it was going to be all strangers, and it wasn't, because of LinkedIn.
Oh, that's great.
So I love for you to follow me, but because of the way LinkedIn is, please go ahead and like do the next step to ask me to connect. Send me a message if you want, do an introduction. If you don't, I will still accept it. I love connecting with folks. But I would love to hear from folks what your personal branding questions are. If you're nervous to ask it here and you want to shoot it over on LinkedIn, anyone on this chat, if you say this chat, I'm happy to kind of give you a free pick my brain session. I also am just about to do for the holidays this 5 ways to wear. And so it's going to be part of the membership that'll be offered. And so
Mhm.
from personal branding to, I know people can see my PR company website up right now, Walker Publicity. That's also a great way to just learn what I do. Really anything storytelling is what I love to do. And so because I believe that what we wear is a part of our story, it all just ties in perfectly.
Wonderful. And I'm going to read this off right now for those people that may be listening on the podcast. So to connect with Andrea on LinkedIn, go to linkedin.com/in/Walker PR. And because she's got great brand consistency, her website is walkerpublicity.com. So you can go to her website there. And there might be somebody on here, and you kind of covered this, but I just want to put a nice bookend on it as well. Somebody on here who is interested in working with you. Do you work with individuals? Do you work with companies? And give us that menu of services of
Yeah.
the different types of things that you offer.
Yeah, so Walker Publicity focuses on working with small to mid-sized businesses and nonprofits, helping them to create and share their story via traditional PR and media relations and social media management and brand strategy. Look on Purpose is this new baby of mine that focuses on working with individuals. Self employed is the most fun to work with, because those are folks who are constantly able to shift their brand and really create their own identity. Your face is the biggest part of your brand, whether you like it or not. And so I work with individuals to help them cultivate their own brand story, just like I would a business, and treat yourself like your own favorite business and become that brand. So we do closet consults, we do personal styling, I'll do photo shoot styling for folks, event styling, and really help them discover how to feel intentional and feel their best when they walk into a room.
That's great. And I just put the
Oh,
link
thank
in
you.
the on the screen as well for that. There's a separate website. You can get to it from Walker
Yep, you can get there
Publicity,
easy.
but look on purpose.com and you'll see Andrea listed on the website.
Yeah,
So wonderful. So Andrea, this has been a great conversation. Thank you
thank
so much for your
you.
flexibility with all of our tech hiccups
It
today.
worked
But
out
again,
perfectly.
Yeah, it did. It worked out exactly like we needed it to be.
Yeah.
So, again, we were talking today about aligning your personal brand with your personal image. Any final thoughts for us there?
Just remember that you are your brand and be able to celebrate that. I love seeing the individuality in people, and I think sometimes we forget to celebrate what makes us different. And I think in business, what makes us different is what makes us all so unique, and that is what you should celebrate and share with the world.
Wonderful. Great points. Thank you so much, Andrea. I'm going to be watching this again. I got to go out walk Pepper next, so maybe I'll be listening to it
I
while I'm out
love it.
there walking her today. But I want to encourage our audience, if you enjoyed watching the video here today, whether you're watching on LinkedIn or on YouTube, we'd love to encourage you to share the video along with someone. If it's here on LinkedIn, find the little share icon at the bottom. Looks like a little paper airplane. You can either direct message it to someone or you can share it as a post on LinkedIn. If you do share it as a post, I want to encourage you to use the @ sign and tag in Andrea and myself. When
Mhm.
you do so, we'll be sure to comment back and maybe share with your connections one thing that you learned by watching the video or something that was particularly memorable for you. We would greatly appreciate that. It does help to spread the word to reach others with this video as well. So, with that said, thank you, Andrea. I look forward to seeing you
Thank
in person.
you.
Maybe we'll see each other at Amanda
Ooh,
Sweep's,
I think we will.
event in January. We will
Yes,
see each other. If not,
we
we'll see each
will.
other, I'm sure, again soon too. So,
Yeah.
thank you again for your time.
Thanks, Brenda. This was super fun.
All right. Thank you all. And have a great rest of your week. We will see you on LinkedIn. And there we go. Take care, everyone. Thank you.